What I will talk a bit about today is more use case learning, real case that I've been part of, and it's a lot to do with the utility segment, but it's also some other segments as well. Very quick about myself, working for Volvo Construction Equipment based in Sweden. Been working for Volvo my whole life, more or less. During my last 5 years, spending 100% time on the electrification and transformation we are into. So a little bit what I will touch on today. Very quick first highlight, Volvo's roadmap when it comes to the transformation, then a deep dive into the use cases, and then also a little bit about numbers and the business case around electrification. But just to start a bit here, I mean, Volvo Construction Equipment is part of the Volvo Group, 100,000 employees. We, as many other companies, have made a commitment to science-based target. And it's pretty bold commitment that we have committed to have then net zero in the value chain by 2040. Part of that, there are other side targets as well. Volvo Construction Equipment, has an ambition to have 35% of the sales within 5 years, 2030, that should be electrified equipment. So that's one side target to the science-based targets commitment we have done. Very interesting panel discussions here 5 minutes ago, where we heard different technologies, and we are always saying there is no silver bullet to this transformation. We started 4 or 5 years ago with the smaller machines, electrified, but we are working on different technologies depending on the size of the product. And what you see here on this slide is different type of technologies will come here in the near future, depending on what type of product we're talking about. But the smaller compact machines, they are electrified, they are available here and now. Then the mid-size segments is also coming now. We're increasing the range with more electric products. Talking a little bit about the hydrogen journey as well. We are very proud to showcase this as a prototype world first articulated hauler in hydrogen version. Not available yet at the market. That's the reason why it's in green color. We also came with this. I mean, the material as such is also very crucial when we develop and produce equipment. And what you see here is the world first fossil-free steel developed Tara, which is an articulated hauler without the cab, an autonomous solution product. And this is a partnership together with SSAB. Touching very quick on the actual lineup we have when it comes to electrified products. We delivered the first electric machine 4 years ago in December 2019. We started with a smaller product line, the compact range, as you are aware of. And then we have added on more products as we move on. Charging solution is also crucial. BESS units, different type of charging solution needs to, let's say, also be connected when we're coming out with new products. This year was the biggest launch year ever for Volvo CE, and now we're starting to see the bigger medium-sized machines coming out here as well next year in the marketplace. Both wheel loaders, a 15 to 20 ton size class, and then also wheeled excavators in the size class of 15 ton. We also came with a new power unit this year for the smaller compact units, 40 kilowatt hour. But that's a little bit about the product, what we as an OEM develop and push and want to see more in the marketplace. But this conference today is so important to bring up these topics, and I just took this with me. It's the source here is from a report from Off-Highway Research. So this is the penetration rate for electrified equipment right now. This is figures from 2023. And then you can discuss, is this good or is it bad? I have my personal view of this. And here it's all brands, all OEMs, it's not Volvo figures. Looking at Germany, Germany is a very important market. I mean, total market-wise, it's super big. We're always talking about Sweden, Norway, Netherlands. Yes, they are top 3 in the transformation right now, but they are very small markets. So I think this gives a bit of where we are right now and what we need to work on together as a team in the value chain as such. It's not one single player that will solve this. So this is something we have focused a lot on, use cases within Volvo, and this is something me and my team has been driving. Normally I'm not dressed like this, I have a hard hat and yellow clothes on. So let's look into some of the use cases here and some learnings from that. But first I think we have a small or a short video here. That was just one example from a case we did in Sweden, but with all equipment were electrified. But to create change and to speed up this change, the value chain is so crucial. And the value chain in our industry is very complex. And what we have focused a lot on during the last 2 years is to go higher up in the value chain, talking more with the customer's customer. And that can be, for example, real estate companies, cities, municipalities, these kind of companies that are sharing the same sustainability agenda. But then we bring in all the players in the value chain, and that has, at least what we have seen, has been a good setup. This picture here is illustrating an application where you're building EV charging stations. Because it's not number 3, it's a very important stakeholder to us, the guys that are buying our products and services. But they are not standing on the forefront to change and move from diesel to electric. The requirements needs to come from their, let's say, the people they are doing business with. Here is a use case we did in Stockholm in Sweden end of last year. Very small project, and it was not a project we created, it was a real project, and it was about to build EV charging stations for cars. And they asked us if we want to be part of this, and we committed, and we did this fully zero emission. So all products we used in this project were electrified. As I said, typical utility project in urban area in cities, where you have problems in Europe now with all the different, harmful gases and things like that. And the smaller compact machines, they are not having the same type of engine regulation as we have on the bigger machines with stage 5 regulation, with DPF filter and after treatment system and so. That's important to think about. But in this case here, we also had electric tools, we had an electric truck and so on. what was unique with this project was that we connected to the grid, because charging is crucial for electrified equipment. So we basically, that was our first request into this project. Can we get access to the grid? The gray box you see there to the left. And the energy company in Sweden that was, let's say, driving this project, for them it was, yes, of course, we can fix that. And they made that to happen within a day. And for that reason, we could then charge all the assets within the job site and looking into the system as such. Some numbers from this use case, looking more as the system as such, because it's not just about the construction products, it's about the hand tools, trucks, and so on. This was a 6 weeks project, very small project. And then you see, I mean, it was 2.3 ton of CO2 saved in this specific project. One truck, one mini digger, and then a few hand tools. What was so fun with this use case was that the energy company now in Sweden, they are our customer's customer. They now came out with new procurement requirements 1 month ago. Very bold procurement requirements. So all mini excavators under 3 tons they do 1,000 utility projects per year, needs to be electrified. And that's learnings from several use cases they have been doing. Ellevio is the name of the company. Here is another one we did this year. And maybe you think, what are you guys doing? A ski resort site, yeah? They are using a lot of construction machines. And the ski resorts are very, very much focusing on the sustainability piece. So this was the world first ski resort running only on electric machines. And in this case, it's not about the small single machine, the yellow one from Volvo C. This was more about the ecosystem. So we had a BESS unit in the middle, as you see there, but then we had a lot of different assets or cars and machines. And the snow groomer was the most important, let's say, machine in this specific system pilot. So two quick examples. I mean, 2 different segments / application. And of course, this is very unique, but this is a very interesting segment to look into. And they are in the forefront, I would say, in this transformation. And it's not just about SkiStar. They are a leading company with ski resorts in Scandinavia. It's the same now in Alps, in US, Canada, and so on. Comparison, a little bit about the numbers. It's always interesting to look at the numbers. And here you see also, this is also from a similar utility use case we did. It was a little bit longer, 11 weeks, to build EV charging station. What we do always is that we go in, we look into the energy consumption on the electric machines that have been used, and then we compare that if it would have been diesel units. And we compare it always Volvo by Volvo. And in this specific project you see here, it was a small compact excavator and a small compact wheel loader. Even if it's a small project in a city, number-wise it ends up pretty high on the CO2 saving. And then also if you look into the fuel, diesel, if it would have been diesel products, how much fuel you burn versus kilowatt hours. That's also interesting to look at. Many times our customers, the contractors, they don't really look at the fuel consumption in that when we talk about electrified equipment. In this project as such, it was not so expensive to bring in electrified machines. It was only two products, one excavator and one compact wheel loader. It was 1% more expensive. And then maybe you think, how have you counted or calculated this? This was based on, they rented the machines, and this case is also from the Swedish market. But here we looked at the total project cost figure, and the total project cost was 320,000 euro, this 11 weeks project. But then when you're looking into the small assets like our construction machines, that cost block is a very small portion of the total project cost that someone is paying. So that is very interesting to look a little bit more outside in and not looking at the product as such. And in this case, it was based on a rental setup. We heard a little bit in the panel as well. I mean, there are different key stakeholders here that will help us with this transformation, and operators are also very important. And our industry is very, let's say, the guys utilizing our products are very skeptic against this transformation. And I have been out a lot in different markets, different work sites, and every time I'm talking to an operator that haven't used an electric machine, he or she is very, oh, Gustav, this is not going to work. I think the performance is really bad and so on. Often I'm just listening, and then I'm letting the guy jump into the machine and try it out and create your own experience. And then always, I would say 9 times out of 10, or 99, I would say more, they come out from the cab and say, this was really good. It's working. So here we always do surveys like this in use cases. We ask the operators a set of questions before, and then after a certain project use case, we ask the same questions, and then we get the difference. So I talked a little bit about the commitment we have done. Where are we in Europe as such? Focusing on right type of application use cases. Electric machines will not, electric machines is not working in all places. I mean, if you bring out an electric machine in the middle of nowhere in the forest and you don't have any charging solution, that will not work. So here is a little bit the formula as we see it now going forward. When it comes to e-mob adaptation, we need to have the right products and services available. TCO incentives are crucial components into this. Infrastructure, charging infrastructure, very important. Fossil-free energy. Now we are in Germany. We don't need to go into that discussion here now, but green electricity versus the other way around. Supply network, very important, the distribution. That will give customer competitiveness and peace of mind. Very good. So that was my little bit quick speech. Give you some learnings from different use cases, and looking at the ecosystem as such is super important. Not focusing in on a single product. That's not the change we at least have seen. We need to focus broader. Involve all stakeholders in the value chain. Thanks a lot.